Sorry for that last little snafu, those who popped in and I just clicked off. I wanted to use a different platform to go live. So I know I haven't gone live in a while. So I'm here. I've been doing a lot of traveling and a lot of conferences and a lot of events the last month. It's the end of the month. It's October 27th. And I like to say that it went by quickly, but it didn't, because it's like, you notice stuff goes by like you really experienced every single day. So it wasn't like it went by fast, because so much happened this month, personally, professionally, all that. So today I wanted to talk about, and okay, let me back up. First of all, a lot of y'all tell me that I go down a rabbit hole, like when I change subjects. So help me stay on course, okay? Whether it's on this stream or on another stream, help me stay on course, because it's a lot to manage, like managing, if I have guests, managing the guests, keeping on track, remembering what I said, making sure I drink water, you know what I'm saying? Dapping my brow. Anyway, so I wanted to offer, and I don't know how to pin it on here, but for those who are listening, if someone wants to join the live stream to share their experience about commercial contracting or corporate contracting, I'd love to have you so we can have a quick chat. Real Talk Vibes, hello. I went to a lot of conferences and a lot of events. So in particular, I went to VIP Commercial. That is a new program with VIP. It's Veterans Institute for Procurement, and they have the commercial class now. And we were the inaugural, so we were the first class to do it. And then the following week, I went to the NMSDC conference, which is the National Minority Supply Diversity Council conference. So it's council conference. And they also help you with corporate contracting. So this is something that I know a lot of people are very unfamiliar with. So it was easier for me to do a live than it is for me to do a straight video. I did a straight video already, like how to work with big companies, but I feel like it still doesn't gel with everyone. And if you notice my voice, that just sums up how my month has been. Okay, it's been busy good, busy bad, all kinds of stuff. And so I want you to hold on, y'all. My mom is calling. Just hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. It's real life. Okay. So wanting to get into what corporate contracting is. So there's a few of y'all on here, so appreciate y'all with the last minute. I know it's like Sunday evening, you're trying to get ready for work tomorrow, some of us, but please leave in the comments if you don't understand corporate contracting, like whether you do or you don't. You're like, yes, I've heard of it. Yes, Sheena, you explained it. Yes, I know what it is. No, I have no idea what you're talking about. I want to know more. Any of those things, I want you guys to let me know where you are, so I can know how to explain. Because this video, of course, is going to be a replay, but I really want those who are engaged and on the call, on the video right now, Lord, I can't even talk, on YouTube right now, to ask your questions. And feel free, of course, if you know, to ask questions at any time. And I should be able to answer everybody's. So basically, I'll start with what corporate/commercial contracting is. So just like government contracting, you know how you provide a product or a service to the government, you can also provide a product or service to a corporate agency. Sheena, what is a corporate agency? That is Coca-Cola, T-Mobile, Boeing, AT&T, Hilton, IHG, casinos like MGM casinos, Dell. I'm just looking around my room. Lexmark, Kroger, all these different. Lord have mercy, these people. Hold on, y'all. All right, I'm back. So it's basically providing services, instead of providing them for the government, you provide them for corporate agencies. So I need some activity to so y'all know what I'm doing. Hold, I gotta let my sister know I'm on live. On live. So I need y'all to let me know like where you are at in your understanding. But anyways, okay. So you're providing a product or a service. Now, it's a little different than going through federal contracting, which of course, almost all contracts for federal are on sam.gov. So that's usually where you can find all federal. On the local side, there's usually going to be a state. DC said, yes, I understand. Real Talk Advisor, of course, said hello. DC said, yes, I understand. So DC, tell me like what your experience is with corporate or commercial contracting. Chris Million said from Texas, what's up? So the question is, let me know what y'all's understanding is. So the product or the service for any of these agencies, and well, thank you. Appreciate it. I do my best, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. So the same way you would provide the services for government or even at local contracting, whether it's a state, city, county, any of those things, you would provide that same thing for a company that's, considered a corporate or larger commercial company. So I learned a little bit more this week that, it's not just corporate agencies, it's commercial, because there are large commercial companies that you've never heard of that are not in the Fortune 1000, Fortune 500, and they're just big companies. They're just not as big as, what was the name? When I went to the NMSDC gala, like Kelly Enterprises that provides staffing makes like billion dollars. And so it's like, okay, no, wait, I lied. They make 50 million, 100 million. So it's like, okay, they make a lot of money, but there's still a lot of commercial companies that make 10 million, 20 million, 50, that make 40 million. And they still have the same kind of like agenda in a way that the Coca-Colas and and some of these other companies, corporate agencies would have. So VIP commercial basically is to teach you what corporate contracting is. Oh, let me back up. I'm sorry. If I'm going down a rabbit hole and I don't come back to a point or a question, please say, Sheena, can you go back to blah, blah, blah? Because I need to stay on track. They say I'll be going down these rabbit holes and like squirrel mentality. So when it comes to federal, it's sam.gov. When it comes to local, it's going to be your local website, whether it's state, city, county, whatever. And then when it comes to corporate, usually it's every single corporate agency. And I know that sucks, but there still is companies called, like portals called Supplier.io. It's like literally supplier.io. That's the website, I believe. I'm 99% sure. Somebody check it out and let me know. And then they have Supplier Gateway. Now, back in the day, when I first learned about corporate contracting, they had Supplier Gateway and it was free, but I think you got to pay now. So, but still, it's still worth it if you know you want to do corporate contracting. And that's the biggest thing, is knowing if you actually want to do corporate contracting. And you probably wouldn't know that until, you start doing your business, because a lot of people are starting their business with government contracting, but they don't have a business already in existence. But depending on what you do, you may go into corporate contracting right away. So Chris Million said, I'm just getting started in the GovCon business. Okay, and then Lady Maria Israel said, hey, Sheena, hey, girl. So think about corporate contracting the same way you would think about government contracting. You're a salesperson at the end of the day, right? You have a business and you're telling the government, you're telling the local agency, schools, you're telling this corporate agency, I can provide this product or service for you. I got you. I'm your girl. I'm your guy. Like, you can literally, it's the same process as far as how you deliver the information. So one of the biggest differences, though, one of them, is that these corporate agencies only, really only do business with who they know, like, and trust, whereas the government is held to a certain regulation, the FAR, right? So corporate, their business is just like you and me. So they could very well say, I don't want to do business with you, and I don't care, and I don't have to. And I don't care if you're a diverse supplier. So diverse supplier means you are a female, you are a minority, they actually, on the corporate side, they actually have certification for LGBTQ and also for veterans. So there's a few more certifications on the corporate side that you would that they call supplier diversity. And so what the agency or what the company, I gotta stop saying agency when I'm talking about corporate, but what the company would do is they're going to, have a section of their company that they dedicate to hiring smaller businesses, minority businesses, women-owned, veteran-owned, LGBT, all that. They're going to have a separate section of their company that they want to say, hey, we're going to dedicate this. And they don't use percentages like how the government does. I think it's 8% of all contracts or 10%, whatever it is, go to 8A, 20% go to total small business, 5% go to women. For corporate agencies, it's a dollar amount. They usually say it's $1 billion we'll spend spend on diverse suppliers, or it'll be, you ever heard of the $1 billion? Yeah, Lord, the $1 billion roundtable. That is a conglomerate of corporate agencies who have the dedication to provide to help smaller or diverse suppliers get work with corporate agencies. So y'all check in. So we got Chris from Texas. We got, is it Arif from Texas as well? There's a lot of y'all Texas folk. So let me know where y'all are from, drop where you from, and let me know if this is making sense so far. I don't want to be talking so far over your head that you're like, what? Naturally E. Sheena, what's up, Naturally E? What's up? Let me know where you from. Decent Woods checking in from Philly. Okay, I got a contract in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Like Philly. So Chris Million says, so are the smaller corporate contracts more lucrative and profit than SAM? So I'm going to change that question because SAM is not the contract. I know you say you're just getting started, but we got to choose our words wisely so we don't get anyone else confused. So it's a great question. I would say yes, because corporate contracts are usually more negotiable, whereas government contracts, the government can't do anything about it. So let's just say with Coca-Cola, I'm here in Atlanta, right? So Coca-Cola, if they need all their floors waxed, then I might say, okay, that's fine, but we can only work on these specific days. They're a little more flexible because they're a company, right? So we can only work on these specific days based on the type of flooring that the floor waxing that you need. And oh, by the way, we need to upsell you because that's going to make people that are walking through the Coca-Cola museum slip, fall, and break their neck, and they're going to sue Coca-Cola. So it would be more advantageous for you to use this floor wax. So they'll put out a bid, and you have to be invited to the bid. It is not listed on SAM. Supplier IO and Supplier Gateway may have some listed there, but that's like even if Coca-Cola listed their opportunities in Supplier IO or Supplier Gateway, it's only going to be a couple, like 2, maybe, if you're lucky, if 1. But most of those, you're going to have to build the relationship first and then be invited to bid. That's just being honest. Or they won't put it out for bid at all, and they'll just give you, just like any other business would give you the work or allow you to provide the product or whatever it is. So to answer your question, yes, they're usually more profitable because they're more negotiable and they usually last longer. Whereas government contracts will be, 3 to 5, 1 year, 3 to 5 years, whatever. And I've known people who've had corporate clients for 15 years. They just never left. There was just no other reason to switch up. And that's especially true for my franchise people. So let's just say you opened up a CerClean or something like that, like a franchisable company that has a great reputation, then it may be advantageous for you to go after corporate contracts too, because you can charge your price and the corporate agencies already know that, oh yeah, CerClean or what's the other one that they have? I forgot the name of it. But anyways, they trust the brand, and then they like you because you do a great job. and they'll just keep using you forever. Like they're risk adverse, just like we are. We're not trying to lose any money. They're not trying to lose any money, and they want someone to come in and do what they said they're going to do. So, Chris, let me know if that answers your question. What's up, Joy? Always a supporter. Thank you for popping in. What are the best ways to put our business in the position to become known, liked, and trusted in the corporate world? Now, I know that some of y'all have watched a gazillion videos about government contracting, and they always say building relationships. There's no truer way to get into corporate contracting than to build relationships with someone who's already a tier 1 supplier. I'm going to get into that in a second. Or building a relationship with the corporate agency, the supply diversity director, the procurement person. And you can't really, it's different because they know your BS, like where government is kind of like, look, I got in here, so I'm in here. But with corporate, they're like, I know you went around the procurement person and just got with the buyer, because you have several different lanes in this. You have the buyer who needs the thing, the person that works in the IT department at Coca-Cola, they need the thing. And then you have the supply diversity person who you may have been acquainted with, where they're like, hey, we got this company, they check all the boxes. Me, Black female veteran, she checks all the boxes. And then you have the procurement person who's cutting the check. And you can't really go around any of those. So you have to build those relationships with everybody. Now it's going to essentially, like I said, be a little more profitable. So that's the benefit of that. But also the benefit is if you're doing something that's a little different, or you want to get a large scale of, I'm going to use janitorial because that's the easiest thing for me to use. But you'll have a large amount of stores that you provide services to. So the government might say, okay, you can clean these 5 hospitals, which might be enough, but Truist Bank, like, I have a contract with Truist Bank. They may say, we're going to give you 100 stores. And then you're responsible for all those, however you need to do them. Or like they have tier 1, tier 2. Some of them even go down to tier 4 programs. Tier 1 is who the corporate agency deals with directly. This is who they deal with absolutely directly. This is who's talking directly with Coca-Cola, for example. And then tier 2 is usually like the subcontractor, the person right under. So the same way it is on the government side is usually tier 1, tier 2, but then they have tier 3, tier 4. Now, I'm not really sure how that goes. It might be like they only buy small items under $10,000 from a tier 3 or tier 4. I never really did ask that question. They just told me, like Amazon, they said that they have tier 3 and tier 4. And I was like, oh, okay, what is that? So, but I didn't ask that. I said that in my head, but I didn't say it out loud and ask the question when I was at VIP. But it's really about building those relationships and going to some of these conferences. Conferences can be overwhelming. And I'll talk about my experience with the NMSDC conference. But also sometimes, let's say that you already started this corporate journey and then you're like, hey, I already did this, I already did that. So someone needs to talk to me. Like I dealt with this person, I dealt with that person. It might be a good way to reconnect with this corporate agency because now they see you face to face and they might be like, oh, I like their vibe. I'm going to give them another chance. That's happened to me before with other stuff, like Home Depot with a credit card. I got denied. And then I went there, talked to the lady, I got it approved. I'm like, okay. All right. Okay. So it's really about like just truly being you and approaching these companies and whoever's representing them and asking specifically, like, I don't want to deal with going through the portal, the black pit of death, and you guys are never going to call me. What's the best way? Who is providing your services already? Can I reach out to them? That's the type of thing that you kind of want to do. So I hope that answers your question, Joy. Dre stays from Indiana. Okay. Naturally Ease in Orlando. Tiger Tails is in Houston. And Decent Woods said in the pest control business. So you're similar to how janitorial will kind of work. And of course, Joy's checking in from Kennesaw. All right. How can you help me? How can you help me, Arif? How can you help me? Is that what you asking? How can you help me? Because I think I give away a lot. If anybody agrees I give away a lot of information, please say yes, Sheena gives away a lot of information in the comments, because I feel like I need help, okay? I need help helping y'all. Virginia Beach, Teresa, Chris, and Mariana from Walton Beach, Florida, okay. Lady, I'm Maria Israel. I'm interested in bidding for a hotel lodging contract, but I'm facing challenges getting pricing information from local hotels. Whenever I call, they transfer me. So who is the contract with? Is it with the federal government and you're trying to get pricing for a lodging contract for the federal government, lady Amaria? I hope I'm saying that right. Amaria. Because that's a whole different type of question. She says I leave a message, but they never return my call. Should I use the rate on their website for the bid or keep trying to contact them? So Chris, that was a good explanation. Thank you. James said, thanks for your services. Curious about transferable practices between government and corporate. What standard operating procedure could be shared between them? If I understand your question correctly, you're asking if can you use the same operating agreement? Transferable practices. So you're asking if you can do the same stuff? So that's actually a great question, but you're gonna really probably already know the answer, because at the end of the day, your business is your business. So it doesn't matter if it's government, corporate, residential, commercial. The only way is like getting your foot in the door is what's different. That's the only difference. So let me know if that's what you meant, James. So Joy says, so your arrangement with Truist Bank is an example of tier 1. No, I'm actually tier 2. Being a tier 1 contractor is extraordinarily challenging, but only because of my industry. I'm in janitorial. So they usually use CBRE or JLL and some other large companies that they connect with directly. And then the supply diversity group or a director or a person, might just be one person, will usually try to instruct the like the CBRE or JLL. They'll try to instruct them to use a smaller company as a sub. Like they'll say, hey, you need to, like Amazon was dead set on it. And they said that they must, almost like the government, they must use a smaller company for 15% of their contract. So naturally, I can't remember what we were talking about. Let me go back up. Oh, she said yes. Okay. You saying hallelujah to something I'm saying. Oh, she said yes, I give away a lot of information for free. Yes. So how can you help me? Okay. Thank you. Help me help you. Yes, Lord. S-Clips, yes, you feel like I do. I appreciate y'all because what? DC's from Cleveland. Okay, ladies, lady, Israel. I'm just gonna call you Lady Israel because I keep messing up your name. Federal contract. Okay, so you're trying to get lodging pricing information. You can use the website, but what if it's different? What if it's a different time of year? You need to make friends with someone in that particular hotel chain before the bid is due. Like you need to have that relationship already in place. You know what I'm saying? It's personal to me. Said, do you think having a GovDirection pay subscription is worth it? Yes, I still pay for the subscription because they have the app called RFP Delivery, and I also use Instant Markets, which is free. So I pay for it. I mean, I like the system. I want to be able to just access something really, really quickly. I feel like it's the cleanest as far as when you're looking at federal and local. Just feel like it's the easiest one. Instant Markets is free and it has a lot more robust stuff. So I like it. I love it, but I really just love GovDirection still. So Helen Johnson said, I'm in South Pasadena and recently just got my UEI and cage code registered. I'm trying to figure out to get linked in with FEMA to subcontract disaster recovery. Have you found any FEMA contracts or have you reached out to FEMA? That's a simple And then they have disaster contracts at the state level too. They have, if you said Pasadena, that's Pasadena, Florida. I feel real slow right now, but Georgia has something called GEMA. GEMA is the state version of FEMA. So you may as well, especially if that's Florida, you probably have a local like FEMA thing as well. So a lot of times when it comes to FEMA, they're going to deploy very quickly. So you also have to ask yourself, if there's a natural disaster, are you ready to go now? What do you do, Helen? If there's a natural disaster tomorrow, can you provide your services in 48 hours? Like, I'm talking ready, not like let me get ready. They call you after the natural disaster, just the same way the internet people come and do it right and get our internet back up pretty much right away, same day, or our electricity same day. Can you do that? That's what you got to think about with this disaster recovery. So it's personal to me. I've learned so much already following your page. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that. Chris, retired military, do I need to be set up with the SBA? In what way? SBA is a big agency, so let me know what you mean specifically. Decent Wood said, any experience in pest control company contracts? Yes, actually, I primed a very small school one. They had bees, which that was kind of fun. But that was a prime one, but I was a sub under a pest control contract. I provided the sanitation. So I think I told the story already, but there was a rodent infested building that needed pest control services, disinfecting and carpet cleaning. And we provided the cleaning and the carpet cleaning. That was one of my best contracts. It actually was my best contract, and I was a sub. So I learned a lot about pests and rodents in this contract. I'm like way more than I wanted to know. So when you say any experience, what are you asking specifically? So Joyce said, hey, close the chat. And yes, thank you. Let's get these likes up. I don't even know how many likes are up because I'm on StreamYard. So please hit the like button now, or hit it on your way in. Or if you're watching the replay, make sure you hit that like button. Thank you, Joy. Instant markets is nice. Yes. So James says, thanks. Mostly thinking about requirements each corporate entity or officer might have for RFP requirements or other ways to find a standard to exceed it. Okay, that's actually a great question because I just learned this. A lot of times they want like, what is it called? It's like a performa. So it's not an operating agreement. It's more like it's not a capability statement. It's like this gathering of all your capabilities, not a capability statement though. Like it's a one pager that says this is what we can do, this is what we have done, this is what makes us different. And it I wish I had it with me right now because I made a note of it, but I might drop it in the comments or something later. But it's more like, how can you help me with this service faster, cheaper, better? What is it? Faster, cheaper, better, faster, cheaper, whatever. So a lot of times with me, I always struggle with with scrubbing toilets. So how different can I be? But am I faster? Am I getting this building disinfected faster than anyone has ever disinfected? Are we cheaper? Now, I don't want to be cheaper, period, because of what I do. I don't want to be cheaper or better. Like, we use better products. We have better customer service. We have better trained employees. Better is probably your best option. And so you would just list out those things in your industry that makes you better. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, we've saved the government a gazillion dollars. Like, you may not have, but you may do the thing that you do fast, or you may do it better, or you have like this secret method to disinfect or something, like better, faster, cheaper. So that's usually what the corporate agencies are looking for, because they're like, oh, we can bring this in-house. We make $1 billion. Like, make this work. Make this make sense to me. You're really pitching when it comes to corporate. Okay. Day one daddy, how do we find out how much to bid for Okay, that's NAICS code. That's the facilities NAICS code. How do you find how much the bid? I don't know what you're talking about. What's the service? What's the thing? What's the square footage? What's the location? Is it federal? Is it local? Is it corporate? Like, that's a broad question. So yeah, nah, we're not gonna do that. You need to be very specific. Florida and Lily just got all finished up today. I don't know what that means. Like, oh, meaning like you're not ready yet. I get it, girl, because I personally, I'm not saying I don't like disaster contracts, because we have one, and we've been called once. No, we've been called twice, but it's a local contract as well, and it's not with FEMA. So those, you got to be ready. So if you're not ready, you really don't need to be contacting FEMA yet until you know what they're looking for. And I'll say that they're looking for someone that can deploy immediately. Like, yeah. So Helen said, yes, no kids, just yes, no kids, just dog. Maybe I missed what you meant. Okay. Never heard of instant market. I'll look that up. I have a company where I used to do foreclosure cleanouts, trying to branch off into government contract. Were you doing property preservation? I used to do property preservation. Child, that was rough. But now it's personal to me. You have to let me know your name. But were you directly connected to the bank? Because that makes a big difference. In this class, the VIP commercial class, they had like Fanny May there, and Fanny May, if you don't know, they're a government agency that saves houses. I didn't really know what they did. I know they did something with houses, but you can do what's it called? Property preservation with Fannie Mae, or you can do it with a bank. But Fannie Mae is kind of like corporate / government. It's weird. But if you do property preservation and you're a sub, that money is not money. That money is not worth it. So if you can connect directly with a bank or with like Fannie Mae or something like that, then you should be good. James says, also thinking about building AI into my consulting workflow. Very detailed descriptions of standard operating practices are helpful for this. So yes and no, because if you start adding a whole bunch of stuff to this proposal, they don't want to read all that. Make sure when you're reading the solicitation that you are following what they said they want. So yes, detailed but short, unless they need something elaborate. If we're talking about scrubbing toilets, it's probably not going to need to be that elaborate. But if you're talking about world hunger, then yeah, it probably needs to be a little more elaborate, or something to do with, an IT software that's going to change the whole federal government. Yeah, elaborate. Or like a huge construction project. Yeah, elaborate. But you don't want it so elaborate to where they're like, okay, I'm not reading all this, and they will put your packet to the side. You won't even know why you think you lost because of your price or something else, but they put it to the side because it was too wordy, too much stuff. Okay, so Chris says Apex rep from SBA reached out. I still don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry. I know what Apex Accelerators are. They are Apex Accelerators is basically a subset of the SBA, which is through the SBDC. So the SBDC has Apex Accelerators throughout the country, but it's not directly connected to the SBA. Like the SBA pays the SBDC to provide Apex Accelerated services, but they provide other services too. So ask the question, because I don't know what you mean. Real talk vibes, I'm still trying to figure out how some of these companies making it off of the awards. Y'all must be tired tonight, because I don't know what you mean. Especially there's a delay, and then I read something else. You're gonna have to, state what you mean. How some of these companies making it off the awards. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Day One Daddy, how can I find how much does the government pay for commercial cleaning? Okay. You have to look at either a previous bid. So you could, and again, it depends on, and that's right. When you said 720, that is janitorial, that's not facilities. So that it depends. Like, there's no one number. There's no one number for it. I did do a video on janitorial. But if you're talking about federal government, you're talking about local government, those are also going to sometimes be different, and depending on where you're located, where the contract is located. Because I've seen contracts in, what was it, the Virgin Islands, and they needed us to clean 1,000 square feet. I'm like, what? Like, who is doing it? That's like a single person. A child can do that. So it's going to be a lot different there than it is going to be here. For like that building we cleaned was 2.4 million square feet. So it depends. It depends on so much. And if you're in commercial cleaning, you should know your price. So your price is your price. So whatever your price is, that's what you charge the government. Now, if you got to add, a bunch of people, and it's different, way different than what you normally do, because I know cleaning companies that they don't even have to hire anyone else, because they have those employees already. So then you would just charge your price, or you can try to make it higher, or maybe go lower. Just depends. So you gotta do your own research on how, that specific contract. Because if they already have it in place, then you can look at the previous pricing, but the previous pricing may not be a good price. They may have just won because they were super cheap, Just saying. Okay, Chandra, yes, I had 2 banks I was working, but my people started their own business on me. I've heard people say that. I've never had anybody start their own business on me that I didn't want them to. So you must not been paying them a lot. You got to pay people to stay, yo. Just like you wanna get paid. I'm not saying you wasn't paying them, but I'm just saying that's what that sounded like to me. But so yeah, if you do property preservation, then it crosses over to facilities the same way that that's kind of how I got into corporate, actually, because during COVID, everything, I didn't win anything for 9 months. And so I started doing property preservation because I was like, where the money at? Like, what? And so I started kind of going into the corporate realm. So, got to pivot. I mean, the proposal amounts. So Real Talk said, still trying to figure out how these people are making it off the awards and proposal amounts. It depends. Maybe they might have known something you didn't know, or they could have cheap labor. Like with my litter pickup contracts, I got cheap labor. So it might seem like I'm not making any money, but I got felons out there. They love it because nobody's on their back. They're making $100, $200, $300 a day. They can move at their own pace and they love it. So, and I'm still able to make money off of that. They finish quickly. So it just depends on, they may know something that you don't know. Okay, it's personal. Shonda, right? Yeah, Chandra. Last question. I have made 2 bids, haven't heard anything back. It's past closing date of the awards. I don't know if I should contact purchasing officer. It was for delivery of copy paper. Yes, you always reach out. You always ask for a debrief. You always check to see if it's been awarded, because that can save you a phone call, right? So you can look at wherever the proposal was, if it's federal or local or whatever, then you can look and see if it's already been awarded. You can reach out and ask the agency if it's already been awarded. You can ask for a debrief. You can, ask all that. Yes, you always ask that every time. That's how you get feedback, because it may be the price and maybe your proposal sucked. I'm not just saying that to you. I'm just saying in general, you need that. So Real Talk Vibes, I went to a site visit and the company that was awarded a contract for $23,000 a year to clean 3,000 square feet. Okay, but they could be cleaning it once a month. Were they cleaning it once a month? That may be good for once a month, or the agency might be providing the supplies for the company. So it's real hard to, really know without knowing every single detail. So it could have been one person once a month, or they didn't have to clean everything every day, or if it was multiple days a week or one day a week, that may work for them because they already have the employee. So if you think about this, right, it takes one person about an hour, a good cleaner, you said 5 days a week. So some people get around that by not cleaning every day, even though they're supposed to. That's how a lot of people get away with it, because they don't have to pay their employees as much. And especially if it's 3,000 square feet, it takes a person about an hour to clean 2,500 square feet, a really good cleaner. So if they clean in 1 hour or less, they could have that same employee working another job for them. So they're really not losing any money. Like, it's almost kind of like free. Like, let's just say that employee works for the cleaning company, like for 6 hours a day doing something else, right? 6, 7 hours. And then they go over to this other location, the 3,000 square feet, and clean it 1 hour a day. That's like nothing. They already getting paid. Like, they may have been getting paid 8 hours a day anyway, and they pluck them from that other location for 1 hour, and it's the same money. So it's almost like free in a way. Dang, I just kind of cracked the code right there. But yeah, so it just depends. You never know how it's structured. And that's why these people are able to do, because they already have the employees. Everybody's trying to subcontract work out. And that's how they're not winning. I subcontract work out, so I know the pain of not winning. So that's how you lose out on these contracts, because you're trying to sub everything out. You don't have no cleaners, no employees, no nothing. You're just trying to get a contract and go out, ride into the sunset. But it doesn't always work like that, especially with service businesses. All right. So Mark Powell said, I don't have a niche, but I have a few relationships. I have relationships with heavy equipment, real estate, plumbing industry, cybersecurity. How should I brand myself? I have no idea. I don't know. This is you for you. So pick a niche, start there. See if you can find something that's in heavy equipment or in real estate or in plumbing or in cybersecurity. See if you can find something, and whoever you're partnering with, the relationships, see if they can do the contract with you. I can't tell you what you should do. I wish I had that power. I can't tell you what you should do. It's on you. It's whatever you feel like you can do. Do you feel like you can handle a cybersecurity contract? Do you feel like you can handle a plumbing contract? Can you go into the agency and talk to them, and you can speak the language? How do we get so far off of corporate contracting, first of all? But just saying. Joy, make sure you click like. Yes. Hit like when you come in. So much for the free expertise. Yes. Thank you so much for the free expertise. Yes. Make sure that's said again. Talk soon. I'm getting an appointment scheduled with you. Yes, do that. All right. So I want to talk about, because we have 42 minutes already, but I want to talk about the VIP commercial class. So those who've watched me for a while, and continue to ask your questions. I want to kind of stick to corporate, but it's okay if you got other questions. So I went to the VIP commercial. It was Veteran Institute for Procurement commercial class. We were the first ones, and they talk about how to do business with corporate contracts. And there's a lot of corporate agencies, corporate businesses, corporations. And there were a lot of people in that class that I knew, that knew me from YouTube or whatever, and that do millions of dollars in government contracting. And they were clueless about corporate contracting. And I felt so like on my high horse, because like I said, I'm the only one that teaches about all three. I am the only person on the internet that teaches about federal contracting, local contracting, corporate contracting. And that's a veteran on top of that. I know everybody in here is not a veteran, but I'm just saying, like, I've done all of these contracts as a prime, as a sub, every single realm. So I know what the hell I'm talking about. And it felt good to be in that class knowing that I knew more than some of these people that are making like 75 million. There was some $100 million companies that were in the class learning about corporate contracting. And I be giving y'all this stuff for free. For free. So, like, I think you guys should go out here and do great things. So the class, we actually got to meet with Wells Fargo, Chevron, IHG, Fanny May, Amazon, USAA, what was another one? The post office, because the post office is kind of like both. They can be corporate and federal. So, and I think they might even touch on local. They just quasi or whatever they say. So we got to like talk, and they explained, you know, what to do and how to navigate corporate relationships. So with that, a lot of times the biggest thing that I hear is being patient, because being, you know, you're probably going to reach out to some of these companies for months, years. There was a couple of people in my class that had corporate contracts that they got directly, like with harassing the hell out of these companies, Accenture, Amazon, and they said it took them 2 years. Some of y'all are not ready for that. You're not ready to be rejected. You're not ready to wait for 2 years to get a contract. But you'll probably have that contract for forever. So, you know, something like that. So you just have to be very patient, but just know it's the long game. It's not the get rich government contracting, and none of that is really not get rich quick at all. Anyway, you can get rich kind of fast, but it's not get rich quick. So you have to be very, very patient and know that this is what you want to do. I did the interview with Keel, Keel, and he talks about corporate contracting. So we go into depth about that because that call was like 2 hours. So he talks about his contracts with PNC and even the FBI, and FBI is more federal, but still, like, he talks about the different companies he introduced me to. I actually met up with him at the NMSDC conference, which was last week. So VIP was the week before, and then the the Minority Supply Diversity Council conference was this past week, and Keel was there, and he introduced me to a few companies there. So that was fantastic. Let me go back to some of these questions or some of these comments. So Wayne said, just submitted the first proposal. Okay. I love that. I love that. Keep pushing. Cyber Delect, do corporate companies do heavy marketing? Meaning like, do they need marketing services? Is that what you mean? If you're asking if they need marketing services, absolutely. Did y'all know that Kellogg changed their name to Kellanova? Kellogg's was also there. The only reason I knew it was them because the K was the same. See, that's why branding is so important. Kellogg's changed their name to Kellanova, and they specifically need marketing services because they said that the name is crossing over. Like, it's some places out of country it's Kellogg's, and some places it's Kellanova. It's hilarious. So she was like, yeah, we need marketing services. So I think that was your question, but just let me know. Mac said, blessings to everybody. Let me know where you're from, Mac. You appreciate me. I appreciate you appreciating me, even with my voice sounding crazy. Joy, always a supporter. Those are great contacts. Yes. DFW, you think needs a shout out. I'm not sure what that means. And then Joy said, I wish I'd been in the meet USPS. They are gold mine. Yeah, I actually have a friend that did, he did not fiber, but oh my God, what is it called? Low voltage replacement for all USPS, like throughout the whole country. It took them like a year, but yeah, when they give it up, they give it up. Cyberdelect said, do corporate companies do heavy marketing? Will my marketing and social media management basic skills be welcome? Yeah, if that's what your company is, yeah. The corporate agencies buy everything, maybe even more than the government, because sometimes the government can't really bend on what they buy. They're not going to always be as innovative, but corporate agencies are very innovative. So because they're companies just like us, and may not know, because you got your CEOs and executive teams that they're just trying to keep the company from going under. So if someone introduced something that's more innovative because they see the employees down in the weeds, needing a better, like, if anyone ever seen Undercover Boss? If you have, put Undercover Boss yes in the comments. But if you ever watched that show, they'll go to their stores and they're like, oh snap, I didn't know our cash register was raggedy. I didn't know, they don't know. So it's the same thing with these corporate agencies where they don't necessarily have the most innovative stuff for their people that work for them. Sean Lee said them might be life-changing contract. Yeah, they might. Joy said, are those conferences always around this time of year? No, they're throughout the whole year. I mean, it seems like there are a lot of conferences right now, but those you got to look on Eventbrite because there's a lot of conferences, government, local, and even in your local area, they'll have industry days for that county. So everything in that county, whether it's what's it called? Because like within a lot of counties, they'll have their own health and human services. So it might be health and human services, it might be Department of Public Works, it might be Water Works, all within that county, and they'll have an industry day, and it's up to you to go and communicate with all the agencies within the county. So those are local, and those are all the time, whenever. And then of course, federal industry days, you can just look on Eventbrite, Google. I mean, I literally looked for while me and my friend were in the class, the VIP class, and we looked up government contracting events. And it was like, here are the top 10, and it was for 2025. It was one in London. I was like, bet I'm about to go to this thing in London. Like, that'll be lit. I want to go to that. So you might catch me there. I don't know. But yeah, you just gotta look them up. So D. Scott said, I'm new to government contracting, specialize in Salesforce software development. I'm looking to work with a prime as a subcontractor. What strategy do you recommend to connect with primes? Reaching out, and you're saying that you do software development. So if you're new, but I would look on sam.gov and look at all the IT companies and just reach out to them. Now you might have to work on your pitch because you don't want to just reach out and be like, what can you do for me? But those events is probably the best way because government contracting is like an old head group. So they want to see you. They want to hear you talk. They want to see how your movements, your motions. They want to meet you. So the best way is, you can reach out to them via phone, email, and then meet them in person. That'll be ideal. Or person, and then follow up with a phone call or an email. It's hard with any of them, but you want to try to get in front of these people. Mac is in Covington, Georgia. CyberDelect said, yes, thank you. Do you think marketing and social media is great as a beginner in this field? It depends. Are you great at marketing and social media? What if you suck at marketing and social media? So I can't say that's good for a beginner if that's not something you do. Whatever it is that you do is easy, should be easy for you. Yes, okay. Joy loves the show. Cyber, Delect said love Undercover Boss. And yes, Joy, I'm going to London. Thank you everyone showing Sheena appreciation for all those gems she's dropping. I appreciate it. I ain't seen no money yet, but that's okay. That's okay. I ain't gonna be that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. All right. It's all right. I don't need that. Y'all give me love, right? Love is what I need. Love is what I need, right? It's cool. My voice is going, y'all. So I'm gonna have to probably end this in a few minutes. So ask your last few questions. I'm gonna talk about the NMFTC a little bit. My voice is about to go. Do you foresee any events for those of us in the group? What kind of events? There's bazillions of events every day, everywhere, throughout the country, throughout the world, throughout the state, city. There's a gazillion events. So, and are you a veteran? Like this, it depends on what type of event you want to go to. Oh, I will shout out Eric Coffey's event. His is coming up in the next month. So I'm gonna let him know that I shouted him out because he was like, you just list this on your stuff. So I'm gonna say it. Look up Eric Coffey's GovCon Giants event. That's coming up. It's in Miami, I believe. So I believe he's still selling tickets. So look up his event. I endorse that. I haven't been yet, but because I'm always on vacation when he has it. I'm like, you're gonna have to work around my vacation. But yeah, so look up his event. Wayne says I'm in the, I don't know what the USVI, I'm sorry. United States Virgin Islands. I was just talking about y'all. I was just talking about the Virgin Islands trying to make people do stuff for free. What contracts y'all got out there? Who's I need to get in contact with the embassy, Wayne. I want to do contracts with the embassy. So Real Talk says she does follow Eric Coffey. So yes, please. So okay, the National Minority Supply Diversity Council Conference was last week. It was in Atlanta. So boom, boom, boom. It's a massive event, like thousands on thousands of people. And I'm gonna have to do a TikTok, not a TikTok, a TikTok on the event because it's a lot. So, and I only went there a couple of days. I didn't even go for the whole time. So it is basically every corporate agency you could possibly think of: Google, Amazon, Chevron, IHG, MGM, oh my gosh, TJ Maxx, oh my gosh, there was so many companies. Like it was out of control. USPS, Pfizer, I can't even think of, there was so many I can't even think of them all, but every company you could possibly think of was at this, and some companies that you've never heard of that are multi-million dollar companies. We saw new technology, like a lot of EV charging stuff. That was really cool. I want to maybe one day get into EV, which is electric vehicle. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm going electric vehicle. So yeah, that it was really, really great. And like getting face to face, because I've connected with some of these companies throughout the years. Facebook was there, but yeah, I've connected with a lot of these companies, and I'm like, hey, I want to reconnect. You see my face, all those kind of things. And the big events are a little challenging because there's so many people walking around and talking, but it was fun because they had a lot of guest speakers. They had Magic Johnson, they had not Idris Elba, oh Lord, Malik Yoba, a lot, worldwide technologies. CEO was there as well. They just had a lot of activities and a lot of companies there. So it was really, really interesting. I did enjoy what I got to do. The people that I had a chance to speak with, and they had a gala. So you know what I'm saying. I was up in there because galas are my thing. I love dressing up. So I'm gonna post my little video on, probably on here and on Instagram. So you'll catch that. But and then what was crazy was most of the companies that were there also had like what's called a reception at the end. So, well, after the conference was over for the day, so they would have like at a bar or like a low level nightclub, they'll have like a reception. So then you're meeting with the people that you met with earlier. So that's one of the best ways as well, because once you get to drinking and talking and we kick back, then you get a better relationship with these people. Like I was talking to Granger. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with Granger, but they sell like hardware products, products and stuff like that. So he was like the supply diversity guy. He was cool. So like those types of relationships can be built even after the conference. Wells Fargo had a conference, a reception, and you're meeting with Wells Fargo employees, like the ones that are in charge, the decision makers, at the club or at the bar. So it's good to kind of have those, or like even who had one at the taco bar? It was Capital One. So that was cool. Like they have, and by the way, Capital One has a very fantastic program. I'm going to sign up for it myself. You just have to Google it. I can't remember the name of it right now, but they have great business programs that you can join that are not veteran related. I know I talk a lot about veteran stuff, but it's really good for those who are trying to scale and build, like those who really want to make this a business and not just, I'm trying to get a contract and leave. So, the conference, it was good for a lot of things. And I encourage people to go to ones that you feel work for you, because you might say, okay, those big conferences I don't like, or the big conferences I do like, or the small ones I don't like. The small ones I do like. I don't like to go out of state. I want to stay in state, all those kind of things. So, you just have to choose your own path. I like conferences. I like boot camps. I like all of that, because I feel like if I get in front of more people, then they'll, that know, like, and trust will build up. Some people, I used to be behind a computer. I didn't want to meet people. I didn't want to meet anybody. Just give me my money, give me my contract. And I'm still kind of like that. If you were pregnant right now, that's crazy. But yes, I'm gonna read y'all this in a second. But yeah, so the conference was great. The class was great. It was perfect, right on time. So, you know, I'm going to continue to go to those. So Wayne said we had one for software I submitted, and there's only 5 some construction and cremation service RFPs. I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, you were looking on SAM, I'm guessing. You're gonna have to look in a different area. Did you look in a different area? Like not just where you live? I think I answered your question. I don't know where the embassy would be here. I'm gonna find it. Okay, if they have one. Chris Hill said, "What was the name of the event again?" Oh, with Eric Coffey. The name of the event is GovCon Giants. If you just Google GovCon Giants event, it'll come up. It's next month. It's November. GovCon Circle. I meet and greet. So I know we talked something about meeting up. So if you're in a GovCon Circle, then yes, create a meetup. Create a meetup because I got it separated by location, and people are already doing that. So hopefully you can tap in with somebody where you live. Wayne said, "What did they try to get you to do?" Y'all, I didn't already went on a whole tangent, so I don't remember what we talking about. Let's see what he was talking about. Sorry. Oh, that's too far back. So you're gonna have to ask again because I don't know. And then what was the name of the conference again? You're in ATL. That's Eric Coffey's GovCon Giants. It's in Miami. GovCon Giants. Okay, H said One Source Distributors is with Sonopar and does have EV chargers. I need to talk to you because I don't know, it's the nerd in me. If y'all don't know, I was in IT for 20 years in the Army, but I decided to scrub toilets to make millions. I know that sounds crazy, but I just like the whole charging and solar power thing. I don't know why, but I want to get into it some kind of way, but I don't want to work too hard because I'm already working hard enough. I know y'all see my nails, so let's go ahead and point it out. Yes, it broke. All right. So Cyber says, if you were pregnant right now, what kind of contracts would you do? Less stress and doable for a mother to be. Curious to know. I'm a chocolate vet with tons of experience. Oh, that's hilarious. Woo, you got me. Because I'm like a chocolate vet with tons of. That's hilarious. Okay. All right. Got it. So I'm going to try to answer this. Someone told me when I describe something to act as if I'm describing it to my 5-year-old nephew. He was 5 at the time. 5-year-old nephew. So even though I've said it depends on what you can do, right? You literally have to find something that you do because you're a business owner. There's no such thing as less stress. There's no such thing. If you want less stress, go to work. Go work for the government. That's probably the least stress job you can ever have. I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to be rude. But being a business owner, there's no such thing as no stress. Now, for me, I could have easily went into IT, right? Somebody would have told me, Sheena, why you not? If I was to ask somebody when I first started, here's my experience, what should I do? Right? They'll be like, well, what do you already do? I do IT. Do IT then. I would have been like, hell no. So I can't ask someone else to tell me what I should do. And if I give you some examples, then you might say, hell no. Because I can just tell you right now, scrub toilets. Cyber delect, scrub toilets. That's easy. Let's use that. Are you willing to do that? Litter pickup. I have multiple videos on the easiest, quote unquote, easiest or easier to start. Security to me is one of the easiest. If you're talking about totality of what's needed, most people that would do a security contract have a security company. So maybe it's much easier for them because they already have it or they already do it themselves. So if I was pregnant, would I do security? No. But is it less stress? Yes. So do you need employees? Anytime you add employees to the equation, the stress-o-meter is up. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with the job. So it really like depends on what your capability is. I say this every time. Don't let someone else choose your industry for you. I've had so many people say, I hired a consultant in government contracting, this no-name consultant that nobody knows who they are, respectfully, non-respectfully. And they told me to get into trucking. And then you fail miserably because you don't know a damn thing about trucking. I can't help you fill those gaps. I never did trucking. I got about 20 friends that have done it or some of them still do it. But I can't help you because I've never done it. I don't even know what gaps there are. Maybe gas prices. Like I can guess, but I can't guess for you. And depending on where you are. What if you're in North Dakota? Trucking may not be the best industry for you, but it might be the best if you're in Texas, because we know Texas popping. But like with Wayne in the Virgin Islands, that trucking may not be the best. It's a small island. Like it might not be the best thing, you know? So it really, I don't want to go on a rant, but y'all can't ask me what you should do. I've done several videos on maybe easier, and I explain because I've done those things or I help somebody else do those things. I don't like to speak to stuff that I don't understand because I don't know what the gaps are. You go and start that business, you're like, Sheena, my life is ruined because of you. My kids' college fund is ruined because you told me to get into trucking. You won't hear me tell you to get into trucking unless you're already in trucking. Just saying. I'm just using that as an example. I don't want to beat up on trucking. Or like medical. I'm not going to tell you to start providing IVs and you ain't never done nothing medical. So I don't, but for my sister, that's easy because she's already in the industry. She's already a nurse. So, you know what I'm saying? Pick your thing. All right, rant over. So real talk about, I've been between our 20 box trucks and submitting. I've been between our 20 box trucks and submitting bids for government contract. Good, you should. Employee me to be high, stress. And I sub out about 80% of my work, and I have employees and I'm still stressed. You know, I mean, it's not as stressful anymore, but still, the fact that you have to, somebody's livelihood depends on you paying them. And what happens if you don't get paid? Like all those things, business stuff is what you should be focused on. How to be a good business owner, how to be a good president of the company. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, whether you get a contract or not. And that is something that people are losing in this boutique government contracting, corporate contracting, local contracting realm. And it's scary because y'all gonna F it up for the people that are already doing this, who are doing this for real. I want you to go out there and and register in SAM. I want you to go out there and register for different local agencies. But if you're not willing to do all those things, then I already know you're not willing to be a business owner. This is not a fly by night. It ain't that. This is, you're a business owner and you're providing services to like the most paid the most paid companies, agencies in the world. Why would you even want to have step? Why would you want to there's no shortcut. Why would you want to shortcut the federal government where they're trying to make sure soldiers stay safe and y'all like, shoot, I'm just gonna cheat, lie, and steal. That's crazy. You need to get out of here. Rapido. Okay, second rant over. I think I've had a few rants. Stephen Cunningham said, what tools have you used to find a total contract value amount that the previous contractor won the contract for? Very specific. I like it, Stephen. So for federal, they're on SAM.gov. If you go to awarded contracts, it shows the contract amount. Now, you will need to look at what the solicitation is asking because you just having, it might say janitorial for Eisenhower VA, but you don't know how often they were cleaning. You don't know, of course, I'm using janitorial, but you don't know how often they were cleaning. You don't know if the VA was supplying the equipment and the supplies. You don't know anything about it. So you need to look at the solicitation, and the pricing will be listed there on the SAM portal. For local, They usually, sometimes they'll have their own individual websites. Unfortunately, they might have it listed there already. I did a whole video on how to find pricing as well. Check that out. But if not, then you request an open records request on the local side. Then on the corporate side, you just don't know. Because again, this is your industry, right? You should know your pricing already. And then you'll know if you're too low if you can't perform the contract. So just be honest. So rates are horrible no matter where you are. Oh, for trucking, okay. And also going back to Wayne's question, he said, what were they trying to get me to do? It was cleaning for like 1,000 square feet once a week. I'm like, what in the world? So that was that. It was just cleaning office, 1,000 square feet. So Max said, what is an example of a roundabout bid number for a litter pickup contract? It depends. It depends. Sometimes they want you to do litter pickup and right of way mowing. So if you're doing mowing, then that's different. Is it on the highway? Is it on the street? Is it downtown? We do one for downtown Atlanta. Is it downtown Atlanta? Do we have to put cones up? Do we have to put those little light things on top of the vehicles? We have to do that with this contract, not my previous one. The previous one, we just need to do it once a month. Well, both of them is once a month. Well, no, the other one is, yeah, they're both once a month. But it was multiple days where the other one was like 2-3 days and the other one's like 7, 8, 9 days. So, there's so many different variables that you could do it per square foot, per mile, I mean. But even then, you need to look at your area. So I would Google that. I would say, or I would look up a previous litter contract and see what the agency was willing to pay. I actually lost out on a $2 million litter pickup contract. Oh, I'm still sick to this day. And the person that won bid higher than me. They said because I didn't have enough experience, which we did. We were going to protest it, but it cost a lot to protest it. And I just decided to say, you know what, with that county, I don't even like how they get down anyway. So they trying to like weasel their way out of giving us a contract. I don't want it. I don't want to have to deal with something that it might have been a blessing that I didn't win. So, I think we bid way higher than we normally do, and we still lost to somebody that bid higher. So Cyber says he understands. I'm Cyber, I guess you're a male, I'm sorry. Dio says, can you advise I'm new and been asking for a reference in a proposal? I've been asked. I'm sorry. Okay. Do you have any references? What do you do? Tell me what you do. I'm just showing all y'all stuff. Yes. Steven said, what's your honest opinion about the federal procurement data sheet government website? FPDS. FPDS is cool, but the only thing is, let's say you win $1 million contract, right? And you submit once a month, but then you might submit something else in that month. Let's say it's floor buffing. They usually won't be every month. Let's just say it's cleaning. But then one particular month, you might do floor buffing or floor waxing. And so they'll submit, FPDS will submit the monthly and that floor waxing. So it's confusing. It won't tell you what it's for. It'll just tell you what, I think it just shows you the contract number, like the actual contract number, like what it's listed under, but it won't tell you what it's for. So you don't know what the hell the pricing is for. So it's cool, but it's a little choppy. I do better with open records requests or just looking on SAM. And because before SAM didn't have all that stuff listed on it. That's why they had FPDS. I think FPDS is better for like finding people to work with, honestly. Joshua Johnson said, I feel it's hard to find mechanical engineering. You might be right. Engineering contracts or engineering like mechanical engineers, because those are kind of two different things that we can talk about. Ooh. Real talk, do you use SBA subnet? Subnet is terrible because a lot of them, they're old, and people don't know about it. So you have to take your time to go in and look at subnet. Like you have to put the information in there, and that's if it's not due right away, and someone has to know it's in subnet to go look. There's no alert. So I think subnet is cool to connect with people, because if someone is looking for a sub in there, then they probably have more work like that. Maybe I've connected with companies directly, subnet, not based on the opportunity, but I was like, oh shoot, let me just see if you might need help in the future. Okay, Joshua was saying, you saying yes, but I don't know what you're saying yes to. I feel it's hard to find mechanical engineering contracts. What do you suggest for getting in the door with something that specific? User education. So I talked about that a little earlier in this video, that you may have to bring that to the agency. You may have to say, hey, you don't have a mechanical engineer on site. You know, do you want one? Like that, it's not gonna be that cut and dry, but you know, that might even be more on the corporate side, where it might be easier. Like mechanical engineering, I can see that being like in a construction project and it's temporary. But with corporate, they may need someone like staffing. That's like a staffing type thing where someone might need that. They might need it's a staffing contract as a whole, and you may not see the contract for mechanical engineering, but there might be a staffing contract for like specialty professions. I hope that makes sense. So naturally, you said FPDS can be convoluted. Yes. Yes. Gives a verbiage of from the solicitation. Yeah, from the solicitation, but if there's any add-on services or anything, it's not going to really be on there. I don't. Somebody that uses it well, let me know how you feel about it, but I don't feel like it works that well for me. Deal said, I'm trying to bid on after construction cleaning and ton. Oh, here y'all go with this. You must be new here. Don't use that. I know a lot of distributor wholesalers. Is that a question? You know, we don't use that term around here. We don't take kindly to that term middleman around here, because that's not a thing. And you're saying middleman, but you're not talking about any industry. So that makes me nervous, just like I said. Indulge said, do you get quotes with tax for purchase and delivery RFQs to the base? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, I don't know what you mean. Naturally, SBIR, SBIR contracts too. So, okay, I'll buy that for $1. It's SBIR. So basically, SBIR is like they call it like a venture capitalist for the federal government. So if you have an invention, let's say you created this fireproof product that will save soldiers on the battlefield, you would run it through CBIR. And what they'll do is get you the funding to get the contract. That's kind of like you created your own contract. So, but that's a lot. That's a lot. So I don't know if you want to go that route. That's up to you for the mechanical engineering, because that's a lot. Milton said, what's the best way to get a commercial contract if you just start? Now you have to watch the replay. I talked about it in depth. Okay. And my voice is about to go. So I hope this was valuable for y'all. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate it. I got my makeup done today. So I was like, I gotta do some videos. So okay, we gotta wait one more thing. Wait. Okay, Theo, because I hadn't fussed you out already, so you still here, so that's good. I'm trying to bid on after construction cleaning and they're asking for a reference. I don't have any because I'm new to contracting. Make some. Use a friend, use a family member. And you're trying to do construction? Oh, you said after construction clean. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Make some. Ask a friend. Now, can you do the job? How, do you know how to do construction cleanup? That involves heavy equipment. That involves heavy equipment like trucks, because you're not just cleaning up debris. You're cleaning up like steel and concrete and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. Everybody's saying thank you. Thank y'all. Naturally, E said NASA just opened the SIBR as well as ED. So it's not SBIR? I just want to make sure, because if there's a different one, I need to know. Is it SIBR and not SBIR? Because what? NASA's moving, y'all. NASA's moving a lot. They're moving big time with a lot of companies. And they like working with small businesses too. Open Biz January. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Type in error. So SBIR, because I'm familiar with that. Sam Hova said, hello, about to get into Gov Contracts, not sure where to start. I'm in project management, construction. Any advice? You're going to have to watch all my thousands of videos so I talk about how to get started, or the beginning of this video. Are you willing to subcontract work in the future? Yes, I subcontract. I sub and I sub out. I do that. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. And then, naturally, he says I have a human capital contract with NASA. Okay. You should have led with that. I could have brought you on the call. Are you willing to come on? Are you willing to come on the call, Naturally, E? So you can talk about it. That'll be dope. I got a few more octaves in my voice left. Let me know if you're willing to come on. I can send you the link. Oh, don't laugh. Don't laugh now. Don't laugh. Are you camera ready? And there's a lot of y'all on this call. So, Joy, let me know if there are at least 57 likes if Joy's still on. I know I've been talking for forever. Let me know if there's at least, somebody let me know if there's at least 57 likes. Because y'all been hanging on. Okay, Naturally E says she gonna pop in. Okay, Joy said we good, because I was about to be like, Joy said she ready. All right. Oh, look, everybody want to hear from you, girl. Okay. Oh, we have 46. Look, get these likes up. Some of y'all ain't liked it in nothing. All right, Naturally, this is my first time doing this, so you have to bear with me. Bear with me. Let's see how to do this. I'm gonna send you a private message. Nope, I can't do that. So I'm just gonna have to. I can put the link in there, but I don't have to invite everybody. All right. So this is for Naturally E. And I bet you look beautiful, girl. Don't worry about it. So click on that link, girl. I'm gonna bring you in so you can talk about your human capital contract. And while you're doing that, I said I was gonna be gone a long time ago, but y'all keeping me here and I love it. Okay. Victory said, how does that work if you want to work on local contracts, but let's say your NAICS code doesn't fall under the DBE, SBE codes of your past performance? How can you be the prime on that contract? You must already do this. Victory, thank you. That's exactly the way you asked the question. Find the past performance. Okay. You can always add NAICS codes too. You can add NAICS codes to sam.gov at any time. It might take 24 hours to update. But you can always add, though, you can add them to all these websites at any time. I think SAM is the longest, it takes the longest, where it's 24 hours, but the other ones is like right away as soon as you hit save. So Naturally E, Come on in here, girl. I don't see you yet. Oh, there she go, y'all. Girl, you ready? Let's go. Let's go, honey. All right. Hear us?
Hey.
Hey, what's up, girl? Everybody's like, eyeballs. We want to
As
hear.
I'm drinking my wine, I'm ready.
I need my water. I need wine too. I got just a little bit of water left. So when this water gone, I got to go. So look, we want to hear about human capital contract with NASA. This is fantastic, and I appreciate you sharing and being active. This is the first time I had ever done this, y'all. First time. So everybody ready to hear. So from beginning to end, you were born, and then you decided you want to do government contracting. Now go.
I mean, listen, you have me on here. You got your face all made up. My face ain't made up.
Birdful, girl. Birdful.
So yeah, so it's a really cool contract actually. So what I do is kind of twofold. So I work with DEI, so change management. So I work with OSICO, which is a human capital office, and essentially what my role is to come in and say, hey, this is how you do diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging. So that's one aspect. And the other aspect that I do is working with policy. So writing a new piece of policy that will be written to law. It's actually been passed in the House at this point. So
look, wait. Girl, okay, look, you're not gonna do that. You're not doing that. Not on this channel. I'm gonna need you to get some oomph about it. You're like, yeah, I just had this law passed. It's no. We need you to celebrate these wins, honey. Okay, like that is spectacular, and it's a
yeah,
little
it's
muffled.
been really amazing. Oh my gosh.
It's a little muffled. I think when you change the
Listen, I just got back from Tampa. I know I
no,
am.
great.
Listen, I am so excited. Listen.
This is amazing. So, okay, how did you even get into NASA? Did you bid on something? Did you know somebody? You had a hookup? How you get in there?
Okay. I'm getting like a lot of feedback, so I'm not sure what's happening.
Oh, probably because you're on. Do you have the YouTube up on something else?
Yeah, so definitely it took a long time, right? So this is a contract that happens over a period of about a year and a half. Um, yeah, so oh yeah, probably. Hold on.
There's a delay, y'all, so that's why it's like a little off. And like I said, it's our first time doing this, so we lost her. But yeah, so when she comes back, we're gonna make sure she's straight. And if you come back, it's the same link. Let me pop the link back in there. Got a little technical difficulties, but y'all stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned. Yeah, this is dope. I didn't even have the slightest idea that she had this contract. So, and she putting stuff into law. Like what? Okay, here she back. Okay, are we good? I'm just gonna be quiet and you talk about like exactly how, because there's a delay. So you talk about exactly how you got into NASA. All the things.
Yeah, so not sure if you can hear me, but hopefully you guys can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, so again, it's one of those things where it was over time. I've been doing it for a year now. It is a contract that has I think it's a 2-year pop or 3-year pop. I can't remember, with 2 auctioneers. So essentially, again, it's a very complex contract because it has 7 different tasks. It includes like IT and a whole bunch of different things. So, um, but this is a contract that has been building over time. And so I think it came out in like 2022, somewhere around there. And it didn't go into effect. No, actually, I think the end is like 2021. And it didn't go into effect until September of 2023. So it's kind of like working those networks. So there's that. But it's an amazing opportunity. There are more contracts to come. I actually just put out an RFP for NASA as a part of the Human Capital Office. I obviously can't bid on it, but you guys can. So I would strongly encourage you guys to go look and see what is out there. FIBR is out there, as I mentioned in the chat. So if there is something that perhaps you are that you're creating, that you want to create, do it. Reach out to NASA. Also, don't just look at NASA on a whole spectrum. They have 11 centers, and each of the centers put RFPs out themselves. So you can go local if you want to go to KSC, which is Kennedy Space Center. Perhaps maybe you want to go to Marshall, which is in Alabama. You can do that at Johnson. So there's a lot of opportunity.
Wow. And I know it's, a little delayed, but thank you so much for sharing that. So this came out, what you're saying, it came out on sam.gov and you bid on it. And then it just took a long time for them to award it. And you were just being patient. So in the interim, were you bidding on any other contracts?
Yes. I was bidding and losing. And so losing hope. It took a long time. Being patient. So I am actually very grateful. I just won a multi-6-figure contract with USDA, working with 6 figures. I mean, working with farmers in South Carolina. So again, it's like, change management, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Who would think that would be a thing? But it is definitely a thing. So it's been a dynamic year for us. But then I found Tina's channel. So then I started venturing into some city contracting. And so I am patiently trying to be patient, waiting on some responses from the city of Gainesville, state of Florida. I've manifested them, so we are believing. But anyway, it's funny, I'll just share this in short. I never thought about local or state contracting because I've always been at the federal level. So thank you for just getting, expanding what it is that we do. So yeah, but I've been really fortunate. I've made a lot of networks in my career. Networking is key. I've had a federal agency, DOE in specific, Department of Energy or National Security, reach out to me and they're like, hey, do you do independent consulting? I'm like, well, why, yes, I do. So then there went that, and I didn't even have to bid. So I say this to, to the folks that are on the call. There are instances where you won't have to bid, where they would just say, hey, we want to work with you. And that's what happened with Department of Energy for me.
I got literal goosebumps right now. Like, you don't even understand how much I love this right here. Like, you just casually saying this, and I know you had your wine and all that, so your nerves is calm, right? But this is incredible. I'm getting you on the channel for real. Like, when you ready, soon, because this, like you said, there's so many key things in what you said, that you were bidding and losing. You didn't give up. You put something in years ago, and then that thing came right back around and ended up being like the gateway, because people always say, well, it's hardest to get your first one. But then with your industry, you have people calling you, like NASA. That's the most bragging word. You ain't gonna be able to shut me up. If I win stuff for NASA, that's all y'all gonna see in the timeline.
Well, Sheena,
That's
you know,
all.
I'm always messaging you on IG, so you can definitely reach out. There's certain things, you know, obviously that we're able to partner with in some instances, but it's definitely been a God blessed year for me. It's been a exhausting year,
You working,
um,
right? Yeah, you
but
working. So that's hard work. Yeah.
I'm definitely thankful.
Wow. So if you don't mind, because everybody already said you need to get on the channel. So it's a done deal, whether you want to do it or not. If I got to come to you, that's what we're doing. But if you don't mind, can you tell me how the NASA contract, how much did that start at? Because I know you said it kind of expanded, but what was like, give us a roundabout. I ain't trying to get in your pockets. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
I can say it's multiple millions. It's well over 5 million. Um, it is, yeah.
okay, we
Yeah, so
playing.
we
We
can,
playing
you and
now.
I, Sheena, can talk, but there's
Girl, that's my
favor.
wife.
Where there's faith, there's favor. Because I done had a lot of broke moments. I'm like, God, I'm burning holes in these carpets because I don't know how these bills gonna get paid. But so I say all
Girl.
that to say, it's definitely, it's been a journey, and it hasn't been easy.
And that's what people need to know. I don't even know how to like. I can't even get my words together. She's like, well, just multiple millions. I love it. I love it because I know that you work hard. I see you online. We talk all the time. I know that you by the things you ask and the things you're sharing, the things you're saying, you taking it seriously. And that's the people who persevere. Nobody's waiting 2 years. There's so many people that I put on contracts and they were a subcontractor that they're like, Sheena, where's the contract? I'm like, you gonna go out and get your own, or you waiting on me to give you everything that you want in life? So to know that you can just continue on, do what you need to do, and now it's just now raineth upon you. And someone said the wine glass need to be bigger because and cheers. I am okay. So we're gonna stop. We're not doing this no more.
Yes, cheers. Yes, cheers. So
Cheers.
thank you for having me on, just to share my story. I will say one thing, that I think has been, even more of a blessing is to never be selfish with my knowledge. And so, you know, the same for you. And just in short, I had asked someone, you know, teach me what to do. And they were like, no, I can't teach you. And so I can appreciate that you're on here sharing and giving. There's certainly enough to go around. So I'm all about knowledge sharing and not being stingy with your knowledge. We're just only helping each other. So I just want to leave with that. And again, thank you, Sheena, for always imparting all of your wisdom, of your greatness with us. So we appreciate you.
Don't have me crying on no Sunday night.
Um,
Thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead. Drop the mic. Like I ain't nothing else to say after this. Like we good, except send me your email address so we can get you on the channel. We can talk about this in depth. Like I need you on here soon, soon, soon. Okay.
yeah, definitely happy to help. And I appreciate you. Thank you.
No, I appreciate you. Have a great night. Drink your wine,
You
child.
too.
All
I
right.
will.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Yo, that was totally, totally spontaneous. I'm so grateful that she was willing to share because you need to hear that. Yeah, we want the whole story, Joy, because wow. I didn't know she was gonna say multiple millions because she said the six figures for the second one. I didn't know she was gonna say multiple millions for the first one. Like, don't threaten me with a good time. But that was really great, super inspiring. I think I need to clip that and make that a separate video. And then we're also gonna get her on the channel because what? And you got so many, and if you're still on, you got so many kudos on here, girl. Like so many kudos. And just know again, for those who stay the course, no, most people are not gonna wait 2 years for something to go through. And then now she gotta drink wine because she got too much work. Ain't no such thing, I guess. But she got work, and it's worth the time. So even when we're talking about doing middleman. Like she did a strategic play. She played, I'm about to say checkers. She played chess and waited and went the route that she was supposed to go. And now look, like I love it. That was fantastical. I ain't know this was gonna happen. We were supposed to be talking about corporate, but she just changed the whole game. I gotta clip this and make this another video because that was amazing. So, okay, need to hear that. I've been going through the losing biz. Yeah, there's a lot of us out here that went through, and that's what happened with me when I didn't win nothing for 9 months during COVID. So I had to pivot, and that's sometimes what you need to do. But she didn't leave. She didn't leave forever. So, all right, y'all. Now I'm back excited. So we're gonna get her on this channel, okay? Because that was amazing. Really, really grateful that she was able to share, and grateful that you are, I'm grateful that you're changing lives. Like you're changing lives by what you're doing, by just this conversation, by like you're creating jobs, you're helping out the agency, by you winning a contract, you're changing lives too. And I love it. I freaking love it. So, now I'm all excited. I love how you go with the flow. Yeah, girl, I got to pivot. That's why people be like, Sheena, you going down a rabbit hole. I'm like, okay, there's a lot to manage here. And we just did that. We just did that spontaneously. And I'm not even that spontaneous. You're very welcome, Victory. All right, I'm out for real, y'all. So if you got any questions, I usually respond to my comments. So just leave it in the comment section. Don't be bombarded Naturally E talking about you need a loan. Okay. And we still don't have enough likes. Hit like on the way out. But yeah, so thank y'all. And this has been great. I'm inspired. If you're not inspired, then you don't want to do this for real. So I'm out of here. Until next time, it's your favorite veteran, y'all.